Suzanne's Paparazzi Jewelry, 24/7 shopping available. 160920 is the code. Show her some love, like she showed us.
Yo, 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 what is going on, everybody? Welcome to the Coast to Coast Entertainment Network. I am Ace, and tonight I am joined by my co-host for the evening. We have Mr. Crispy Bacon. How are you doing tonight, Crispy? You're on mute, my man.
Uh-oh.
There you go. Now you're not on
There
mute
we go.
anymore.
Yeah, let him talk to
Now
you.
I'm doing
Yeah.
good. How's everybody doing?
Oh, not too bad. And then, of course, I'm joined by Christy Wilson. Christy, how are you doing tonight?
Good. Ready to talk wrestling.
All right.
Especially Payback.
Right. And then, of course, I'm joined tonight by Mr. Mess Around Dave. Mess Around, how are you doing tonight, my man?
So, what do you want to talk about?
What do you want to talk about?
Right? What do you want to talk about?
All right. And then, of course, we got to welcome in Thomas. Thomas, how are you doing tonight? We hope you're having a fantastic night. And yes, the producer did mute himself, so I don't know how that works. How's that work?
How did that happen?
How
did that happen?
I don't
get it.
Technical issue. Technical issue.
Technical issues. All right. Well, tonight, before we jump into Payback, there's one big thing that I want to touch on.
Okay.
I only want to touch on this because I know this is something that may not mean a lot to Mess Around now as it did back then, but we know back then that Mess Around Dave was a huge CM Punk fan.
Mm-hmm.
And now we have learned that CM Punk did not only burn his bridges when he was in WWE, but now he burned his bridges when he was in AEW. And he finally gets released from AEW. Now, there was a lot of rumors swirling and things going around that CM Punk was actually interested in making a return to WWE.
Mm-hmm.
Prior to the first time he got suspended from AEW. Now, whether or not WWE actually brings him back is a whole nother thing. I don't personally think it's going to happen. I don't. But it sounds like Vince said okay, and I think Triple H really isn't there. Like, Triple H really is not a CM Punk guy. So Mess Around, I know you were him. You were that guy. You were always a big CM Punk guy. So you know now, since CM Punk got released from AEW, do you want to see him back in WWE again?
No. And the only reason I say no is because, like, he's not the same guy as before he left. He's like such a guy with super cool because of his attitude and the way he thinks he's better than everybody else. He should get this and that and everything else. And I've heard a lot of the WWE guys that in the locker room don't want him there either. So I don't see it happening.
No, I really don't. The only thing that would make logical sense, and I kind of have this kind of going through my head, and I'm like, okay, for WWE to make this make sense, how could this actually make sense? So I had this pop up in my head, and I was like, you know what? What could make sense? What if WWE says, look, this is what we'll do. We'll give you a 6-month prove-it contract that runs through WrestleMania. We see how you do for 6 months. We see if you're a distraction backstage or whatever. If you are a distraction backstage, we don't re-sign you. If you're not a distraction backstage, then we'll keep you if you're not. But to me, you can kind of look at it like the NFL side or MLB side. Distraction. Give it a prove-it deal. Prove it to me that you're not going to be that same cancer that you were in AEW. Do not be like you were the very first time around. The problem with CM Punk is that he wants, and regardless if people agree with this or not, Punk wants everything about him.
Mm-hmm.
Collision was all about him. CM Punk wanted to make the deal and say, I want to choose who's on Collision. I want to make that call. I want to make
Collision
that.
his show.
I don't want this guy here. I don't want this guy here. I don't want him. I don't want him. It doesn't make any sense to me whatsoever. And so Tom is saying we don't even know if he's able to sign with anyone yet. We don't know because Tony Khan was asked that,
He didn't really have an answer for it.
Yeah, he never had an answer for it. And I know, and I'm sure Christy, since you watch AEW, I know you probably heard it. Crispy, I know you probably have, but there was a lot of rumors out there going, "Oh, this is a work. CM Punk is going to come back." I'm like, guys,
No.
If you haven't learned by now, this is not a work. This is a legitimate thing. This is not a work. This is not.
Hey,
If this was a work, AEW would not have. Here's the thing: if it was a work, AEW would not have released that statement they released, saying that CM Punk would have been fired. They wouldn't have done that.
Yeah.
If it was a work.
This is, and I'm telling you now, this is not a work. This is not a work at all.
This is true. It's all real.
And so
he's done.
This is just for all those people out there and mess around. I'm sure you know about this too. Why is it every single time something happens in professional wrestling, somebody leaves or a storyline happens, like somebody gets hurt, a legitimate injury or whatever.
Right.
The first thing you always hear is, it's a work. It's a work. It's not real. It's a work. And
it was the same when Cody tore his pec. They're like, that's not real. That's just makeup. I'm like, excuse me. Yeah. That's what happens when you tear a muscle off the bone here.
Every time something happens.
Every time.
Everything always comes up. It's a work.
They need to bring up that advertisement or whatever where they're like, professional wrestling is real. These are real injuries and all that.
Yeah.
They could bring
Do
that
not
back.
try this at home.
Yeah. No, I get it. I'm just saying, like, every time they always say, it's a work, and it just I've never understood it.
No.
Maybe one day the internet world will find out it is legitimately not a work. Not everything is a work.
I will. All
right. Anyways, I just wanted to kind of jump into that, kind of get it off of our chest. I know Impact is interested in CM Punk.
Supposedly, but I don't think any wrestling promotion, whether it's Major League Wrestling, NWA, or even Impact, would even dare touch Punk with a 10-foot pole.
Well,
He's so toxic.
The only reason I don't see CM Punk going to Impact Wrestling is because CM Punk's going to want this.
He is.
See, wherever
is Impact willing to pay this?
You don't want
I doubt
money.
it.
And Impact Wrestling is one of those places that are not willing to pay that money.
No, they're not really willing to go to the extreme to pay their talent. I mean, they'll pay their talent, don't get me wrong, but not the amount Punk probably wants.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Well, anyway, so transitioning from that, we can talk about some good stuff now, right? Let's jump into some good stuff. Let's jump into Payback. And the first thing is on Payback, let's say that when people mentioned about Payback, people mentioned about the card, people are saying, well, it's not living up, people are saying it's kind of like a C-looking card, because when you looked at it, you're like, yeah, maybe it wasn't the best looking card. When you watch this pay-per-view was actually really, really good. This pay-per-view overperformed than what people thought it was going to be. It was actually a very, very solid show.
It delivered.
It was strong.
It did.
Very, very good.
It definitely delivered. So let's go ahead and talk about the opening match. All right, so Christy, go ahead and pull up the opening match. We have the Steel Cage match, Becky Lynch versus Trish Stratus.
Steel Cage.
You gonna go ahead and bring it up there, Crispy? There you go. So there it is.
Bingo.
Becky Lynch versus Trish Stratus. Now, when this match first happened, right? And I know people were talking about how bad, of a match it originally was the first time or whatever. But
right.
I completely understand that. But this match was pretty damn good.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
This match was actually really, really good.
Especially the ending.
Amazing. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. So Trish at her age showed you she can still go. She can put him on.
Oh.
She can lace him up still. She can get the job done.
She can. She still has it.
Uh-huh.
And to answer Isaiah's question, no, Becky Lynch is not related to Niners GM John Lynch. No, she is from Ireland.
And Thomas is saying, my God, she was all beat up. Yeah.
Oh, you should see the bruise on Trish's forehead. That was nasty.
Yeah.
Everybody.
God, she's tough. Trish is tough.
Very tough. But I will tell you, we had a wrestling thread that we're talking about. It was a post. It was a wrestling thread. In that wrestling thread, people were talking about how amazed they actually were, how good of a match this actually was.
This was my match of the night, actually.
And so, mess around.
It was
so
mine
good
for a while.
So, mess around. I'm going to start out with you. What was your honest thoughts of Becky Lynch versus Trish Stratus?
At first, like you were saying, I wasn't really. I think the nervous match for the first time, it looked like Trish didn't have it anymore. Like she should never came back. But this match, oh my God, she found her groove and got it back.
Oh,
she looked so much better. She looked like the Trish of old. I was just surprised at how well she performed.
Oh, she was incredible.
Match. Ending was good when Zoe left her laying in the middle of the ring. Kind of turned on her, so that was kind of cool. You knew that was going to happen eventually.
Yeah.
I would say this is a pretty good match. Not my match tonight, but it was good.
Yeah, and I'll tell you too. There was some spots in the match that I was like, dang man, she's taking some pretty good slams, especially off the top of the cage and everything.
I'm like,
yeah, man, she was putting her body.
I'm like, whoa, Trish is going all out. I loved it.
All out, but maybe.
I mean, and this was her first ever steel cage match, and she was bringing it the whole time.
So Thomas is saying she's probably been working out either at home or down at the performance center.
She's also a big yoga practitioner, so that really helps her too.
And maybe what it was too is that Becky and Trish were probably tired of hearing these guys just don't wrestle well together. It's not going to be a very good match. And then you see that and you're like, okay, yeah, right. Definitely was. When you have
Does that answer your question?
When you have the crowd sitting there saying, "This is awesome. This is awesome." Yeah, it's and it definitely was. Like this match had me right there. So Christy, you were saying that this match to you was the match of the night.
It was.
For a little bit, yeah.
Well, yeah. For me personally, it was my match of the night. I didn't expect these two to go all out like they did in this match, and I mean, for someone who's never been in a steel cage match, oh my God, Trish, like I said, just brought it. She was bringing it the whole time. Becky was, she kept up with her, and this match it just had everything. It was like you didn't know who was going to win this, even when Zoe Stark showed up. It was not good. And the story being told,
yeah,
top notch.
But I think the one thing that we do all agree on, though, is like that one thing is I think we kind of all had Becky picked to win. I think we all knew. Like in the end, I think we all knew that Becky was going to actually win. Yeah. But still putting everything out there the way that they did, absolute mad respect on that. And so Thomas Burnett saying Becky's knees probably took one hell of a beating from the man.
Oh God, I bet they did.
Oh, absolutely.
I think she did about 2 or 3 manhandle slams in this match, and that last one, I'm like, damn.
Incredible.
Mega manhandle slam.
Absolutely incredible. All right, Crispy, what was your thoughts on this match?
That was a really good match for Trish's first steel cage match. I think she did pretty well. She took a bunch of bumps. I don't think this will be the last time she would be in a wrestling match, but I think it'll be the last one for a while, considering what happened at the end. But I mean, she did pretty well, and she held her own in the steel cage, and I think her again in another match similar to this maybe.
I think it'll be the last time we see Becky versus Trish, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think this feud is over.
Yeah. So,
So
and
they
Tom
need to
is
move
her
on.
first and probably last steel cage match. Yeah, probably.
But
It'll
she was
probably
amazing
be-
in it.
Yeah. So we're glad she got her first steel cage match out of the way. So
1-0.
Yep.
yeah. So if you were to give a grade on this match, what would you grade it? And mess around. I'll start with you. What was your overall grade on this match?
I'll give it an A. It was pretty solid.
Okay. Christy, your overall grade.
A plus.
A plus.
A plus.
I give it an A. I give it an A also. Crispy. How about you?
A plus somewhere in there.
You give it an A plus also?
Yeah.
Hey, I am.
I kind of
right
agree with
there with
Thomas when Thomas said he feels like they wrestled Trish, so he split up.
I don't honestly think they did.
Yeah. All right.
'Cause I think it was that last woman standing match between Becky and Zoe. I think it was Zoe inadvertently hit Trish. That's when I think it began that process of Zoe and Trish going their separate ways.
Jumping into our next match of the evening.
Let me talk to you. Yeah.
Our second match. Yeah. Let me talk to you. We have The Miz versus LA Knight. Again, another match that went longer than I thought it was going to go.
It was worth it.
Well, plus the promo.
But it was a good match though. It was a very, very good match. And there was some things in here that kind of teased a few little things. Like at first, when you kind of see it, it kind of teased between maybe John Cena and maybe LA Knight, going on a feud, little things like that. It's you never really know. But another match that I truly enjoyed. LA Knight is going to be U.S. champ by Mania. That's what Thomas Burnett's saying. I do agree with that. I do.
I think so.
I know I have a lot of people who tell me, and it's okay to tell me this. You don't have to agree with me, but Miz, underrated.
Yeah.
There's so many people that say The Miz is overrated. Absolutely not. The Miz is is far from overrated. The Miz is so underrated, it is ridiculous. The Miz can do anything. Absolutely anything. He's great on the mic. He has charisma. He can wrestle. LA Knight, great on the mic. Can wrestle. Has charisma. This dynamic duo here was great. Yes, and Thomas, you're absolutely right. The Miz was helping elevate LA Knight. Absolutely. The Miz is that guy. As much as people don't like Miz, as much as people don't like Miz, you can tell me he's overrated.
You can say Cena was like that too.
Right.
You can say Cena did the same thing.
Yes, but I'm saying, you can say he's overrated all you want. But it's not true. It is not true. You don't have to like the guy. But the one thing I'm saying is, with this whole feud he's had with LA Knight, you got to put some respect on Miz's name. You do. And the dude goes, and the dude does the job every night. He's been a jobber. And I get it.
Yeah.
But just because you're a jobber does not mean that you're not good at doing your job. And the Miz is very, very good at doing his job.
Because he's not really a jobber. Well, I know it's when you lose a lot of matches, they call you a jobber.
Right.
But what they use him for is to put people over to help elevate them. That's what he does. You don't call him a jobber, that's fine. But when they need someone to make somebody look good or elevate them, who do they call? The Miz.
Yeah. He's at that point in his career that's what he wants to do. He wants to elevate people, put them over.
So, Mess Around, would you agree with that? That The Miz is one guy that can help elevate anybody?
Well, yeah, for sure. He's a guy that's like Seth. He doesn't have to have a title to stay relevant.
No. Put him in a feud with whoever, and he will elevate them to the moon.
The Miz will flat out tell you. He will come out and tell you he doesn't need a title. He doesn't need it. He'll tell you that himself. He said,
he's won everything.
Exactly. And The Miz is saying, give me a mic.
Twice.
Give me a mic. Let me go out there and do what I do.
Like I heard him with the word.
Yeah. You give him a mic, and he goes out and he does what he does every night. Last night, no exception. The Miz went out and did his job. It was funny. Yeah. He had everybody cracking up, and then also saying, back from the old days. Holy shit! Because nobody. Yeah, it was funny, but he did his job.
Yeah.
And he did what he was supposed to do. So this match, again at Payback, it did justice for them both. It really did.
Last night I didn't see it coming.
True.
The one thing that I do want to see one time before Miz decides to hang him up, which we don't know how long it's going to be, but before the Miz hangs it up, I do want to see him go on one more, at least a title run. It doesn't have to be the championship.
Nope.
I'm talking about the IC title, the US title, something. I want to see the Miz go on one more run again. I feel like the Miz is that guy that deserves it because he works hard and does whatever they ask him to do. He's that guy. And Thomas saying, speaking of to the moon, how has Harper not found anything for Cameron Grimes? I'm sure he probably will. But anyway.
Probably thinking of something right now as we speak.
Christy, your overall thoughts of this match?
This was a really good match between Miz and LA Knight. I mean, it definitely helped put LA Knight over. Like you said, Miz did what he had to do. It did what he had to do. He elevated LA Knight and put him probably even more over than LA Knight is anyway, because the crowd, I mean, LA Knight had the crowd in the palm of his hand and everything.
LA Knight is already so over.
It's insane how over he is. I mean,
he's way.
He doesn't have to, I mean, as soon as his music hits, the crowd just goes crazy.
I know, he doesn't even have to sing.
I mean, as soon as he can pull the mic up to his head and they're all chanting, yeah.
Yeah.
Like before he can even say one word. Yeah.
All right, Crispy, your overall thoughts on this match?
No, I liked the match. I thought it was, cool seeing Cena come out there first and cut a promo with Miz, and he's like, "Oh yeah, you're gonna have a match. You're gonna have your match, but I'm the special guest ref."
That's what I thought was hilarious. I was like, "Oh
yeah,
God. Yes."
And then after that, the match was really good. I thought the Miz did well putting him over. I figured that whoever, what was going to happen, whatever would happen, LA was probably going to win it or just go way up, way up.
Oh, yeah.
And Crispy, I just noticed you spelled John Cena wrong too. But
yeah, I think his last name is spelled Cena.
Yeah, but
I wonder if that was the spell check just messing with.
But anyways, so Thomas, I'm not going that far. I'm not saying that the Miz is going to dethrone Roman. I'm not saying that.
Nope.
But I'm saying he has at least earned some sort of championship run. But it doesn't have to be Roman. I just know that when it comes to this overall, I thoroughly enjoyed this. I've been enjoying this feud between LA Knight and Miz, and I actually cannot wait for it to go a little bit longer because I know it's going a little bit longer. So, Mess Around, your overall grade of LA Knight in the Miz's match?
I give it a B, only because John Cena was involved. I think it would have been a lot better if they wouldn't have involved John Cena. Only because I think having Cena kind of overshadows him a little bit.
To a certain degree, I do agree
Excuse me,
with
please.
you on that. But the other thing that I think about too is it kind of did help the feud a little bit more because by Miz saying I only lost because of John Cena and John Cena won.
Right. Oh, he kind of
Right.
awesome when he did the interview with Invisible CD. He's like, "What? You can't see him? He's right there. He's in his chair."
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
what I'm saying. I didn't see it coming.
That was hilarious.
yeah, it was really funny. All right, Christy, your overall thoughts are not thoughts, but your overall grade.
Overall grade. I'll go B- only because Cena was there, and I'm not the biggest John Cena fan. I just personally felt it wasn't necessary to have him there, but WWE does what it wants.
All right, Crispy, your overall grade.
You can't see.
I'll go with the B. I think he could be the backstage interviewer. He can be the host of a pay-per-view, but
Right.
I don't know if you need him to be a special guest referee, only because
Ooh.
he wasn't really involved in that feud to begin with.
Right.
All right, and Thomas saying we're probably gonna see Cena versus Miz soon. Probably,
Oh, God. Maybe.
Or LA
I mean,
Knight.
I think.
maybe, but
I don't know.
the overall grade on this one is I don't know. I'll give it a B. I'll give it a B.
Okay. Hey, that works.
Yeah, it looks like it's a B straight across the board.
Yeah.
All right, so moving on to our next match of the evening, we have the United States Championship. All right, and Rey Mysterio's
Rey
R-E-Y.
Mysterio.
Okay.
R-E-Y.
Okay.
No, all right. So Rey Mysterio versus Austin Theory for the United States Championship. Mysterio came in as the U.S. champion. We kind of, I don't know. I was kind of going back and forth on which one I thought was going to actually win this match before the match started. I thought it could actually go either way.
Yeah.
I thought, okay, maybe Austin Theory regains the title here, but then I'm like, no, Ray just got it. He's going to keep it. I don't know. It was just one of those things. I was just going back and forth. Overall, the match to me was okay. It wasn't the best match on the card. If I had to pick the worst match on the card, that was it was probably this one. But the match wasn't terrible.
No.
It just didn't really have that wow factor and really stick out. I think what it comes down to is we know that LWO right now is like that hot commodity right now.
It is.
But
despite Ray being the only one with a title on him,
Ray is in the LWO. Ray by himself right now isn't, if that makes sense. LWO is kind of coming in hot, but Rey Mysterio's not. And so it's, I mean, people will still cheer for him, but he's not the most over guy right now. It was still a decent match. It was about a 9-minute match or so. So
yeah,
it was decent, but it wasn't great. And Thomas is saying that this is all to set up Ray versus Escobar down the road. Yeah,
right.
We will. All right. So mess around. Your thoughts on Ray versus Austin Theory?
Yeah, I didn't really care for this match. It was kind of boring. I didn't like you to be the guy in the net. No, I'm just kidding. Right? Seriously, it's about
unleashing his inner dragon viper.
Right. It was okay, honestly. I didn't even understand why they put the title on Mysterio to begin with. The guy didn't need a title.
No.
I thought they should just went and let Escobar even Theory keep it. It does no sense to have Mysterio as a champion of any sort right now because it doesn't do anything for him, especially that title.
Except set up what we're talking about with Ray versus Escobar.
Right.
And you want to have it for some sort of title to where Escobar can take it off of Ray.
Yeah.
because he's like Rey Mysterio's the guy that Escobar looks up to.
His mentor, yeah.
Pretty much, yeah.
Austin
I think
Theory,
all the other members of LWO admire and respect Rey Mysterio.
I mean, in reality, though, Austin Theory, like his last U.S. title reign, this one, before he lost it to Rey, he wasn't really doing much with the title.
No.
No.
I mean, he was approaching Dean Ambrose's U.S. title reign.
But he wasn't doing much.
It wasn't doing anything.
Dean did more with that than...
He did. He was with the Shield when he won that title at Extreme Rules 2013, and he did. I don't know if he defended it more than Austin Theory did, but I don't know if he did. I'm not sure.
Well, no, Austin Theory would not have defended it as much as Dean did when Dean was here, because we kind of had that little bit of like Austin Theory would come out and cut some promos, talk to people, maybe get a little scuffle with people, defend it here and there, but his last run wasn't that greatest. I know
that good.
Ever since Daddy left the company, he hasn't been as big as he was before.
Right?
No.
Theory was a Vince guy.
He was being put to the high heavens pretty much.
Triple H still liked Theory,
right?
But
he just slowed the push down to give Austin Theory time to. He was giving Austin Theory time to develop. That's why he kind of stopped the momentum right there that Vince was pushing him towards.
And
something.
Thomas is saying that Theory was used better on Raw. He was because I feel, and maybe you agree with this or not, but the only reason I feel like he was used better on Raw is because I feel like there was more suitable challengers for him in kind of his style of wrestling.
Yeah.
I feel like on SmackDown, there's not as many as his style. Like, he could go up against a Seth Rollins and maybe a Cody Rhodes and like a Miz and people like that. But I feel like
there isn't much on SmackDown anyway.
Well, there's a lot of talent on SmackDown, but
none that Theory can really mesh with,
Austin Theory, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, not that. So, Christy, your overall thoughts of this match?
This was a snooze fest. I found it pretty boring, even though I'm glad Ray retained that championship. I just didn't care. I was like, Ray wins, yay.
Crispy, your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was a good match overall. I wish it was a little better. Happy Rey Mysterio won it, but it could have been a little better.
All right, now we can give our overall grades of this match. So, Mess Around, your overall grade of this match?
C minus.
C minus? All right.
C minus.
Christy.
Don't care. C minus. Didn't care for it.
And so Thomas is saying maybe Ray will retire after the Escobar feud. I mean,
I still think he's not wrong, but I think Ray has mentioned he would like to have his last match against Dominic.
He already had that match.
He's not. I
mean, like his retirement match. We know he had the match at WrestleMania where he spanked Dominic with a strap. It still makes me laugh to this day.
Your overall grade on this match?
I'm going with a C.
I'm going with a C plus. I'm gonna up it to at least a C plus, only because I know that they both have potential, and the match wasn't terrible. It just wasn't the best match, but it wasn't. It wasn't terrible, and we know it wasn't terrible.
No, it wasn't terrible. I agree with the result. Ray retains, but gives him tight.
All right. Well, now moving on to hold on. So Thomas saying his retirement match should have been at Mania
That's true. It should have been, but it didn't end up that way.
But I think in his final match, if it is against his son, I think he has his son beat him this time to kind of do the passing of the torch.
Yes.
All right. So moving on to the next match of the night, and I'll tell you what, this match, I will flat out tell you, this match was an absolute banger. You want to talk about a banger of a match?
After banger after banger after. Never mind.
This match was an absolute banger. I really enjoyed this match. Finn Balor and Damian Priest versus Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens.
What a hockey sticks.
Wow.
What a match.
KO in a Pittsburgh Penguins jersey.
Everything I saw in this match, I'm like, yes. Now we know why Damian got the push he got. Now we know why Finn Balor's always been a main eventer, and why Sami and Kevin can be considered main eventers also, because matches like that match was phenomenal. When Kevin Owens basically did a moonsault off the staircase on Dominic Mysterio, that was awesome.
Funny. Loved it.
That was awesome.
They come out of the crowd with the hockey sticks, and you're like,
right?
Like, batter up.
So Thomas, you can say that their title run was forgettable. That's fine.
I didn't think it was forgettable.
But overall, this talent in this match and the way this match went down was absolutely fantastic. This to me was close to match of the night. Absolutely close to it. Messed around. What was your thoughts on this tag team title match?
Oh, it was amazing from start to finish. There's so many good spots in the match, like you mentioned. KO doing the swanton, or whatever, and he did it.
KO was bleeding too.
And then and they were both behind it. They come up wearing the hockey jerseys and the sticks. That was great.
God, that was crazy.
I thought they were actual, like hockey players for a second. Then I saw them.
And then the
I thought they were going to start brawling like actual hockey players do all the time.
And then Dominic, Dominic's the real MVP of Judgment Day. He saved Rhea. Well, we'll get to that later.
All right.
Did that, and then he helped Judgment Day win the titles. Dominic's growing on me. I'm starting to like that guy.
He's growing on you?
He still can't get a word in edgewise trying to cut a promo because the fans are booing him out of the building.
Yeah, but he's getting better drowning.
He's getting better. He's learning to drown it out, and he's getting the words out for whenever he cuts a promo. It's just the boos you can barely hear him. Yeah.
But that means he's doing his job, though.
Yeah, he's getting the kind of heat that a heel is supposed to get. That kind of intense go away type heel heat.
But with this match, though, it's kind of cool that Damian Priest is the Money in the Bank winner and now a tag team champion, like that.
And, yeah.
So the real question is JD McDonough going to be the next member of Judgment Day?
I do not have any idea. Yeah, I was going to mention that JD's mentor, Finn Balor, by winning these tag team titles, is a Grand Slam champion.
Yes, definitely.
He is a Grand Slam champion.
Congratulations to Finn.
He was tweeting about it. Congratulations to Finn Balor.
Yeah, and I'm kind of glad to see more title, like another title on Finn.
Yeah.
I'm actually very, very excited about that.
Yeah.
2 titles.
But we do know that it's going to end up that Damian and Finn are going to end up, splitting up from the Judgment Day.
One of them's going to leave,
Damian leaves, or Finn leaves. It's all good right now, but I think that Money in the Bank briefcase.
I'm telling you what's going to happen is Priest is going to go cash in, and Finn's going to get involved somehow and cost him the title.
Maybe.
That's how they're going to split.
Very, very, very well could, yes.
I don't know. I mean, considering the last Money in the Bank cash-in was for the U.S. title and Theory lost, I keep thinking if Damian Priest were to cash in, it would be a successful one.
Yeah.
It has to be. I mean, you can't have 2 failed Money in the Bank cash-ins in a row. You can't have that.
But I do feel like with this match they were on the same page, and so that's what made the match great also. And also getting in, the funny thing is I think everybody knew that the rest of Judgment Day was going to get involved in this match.
Oh yeah, I mean, Rhea is fearless. I mean, heck, she has no fear going up against even engaging in staring contests with these male competitors that are bigger and stronger than she is. She is fearless.
Yeah,
but it is getting. I do personally find it ridiculous because, like, come on, just have a match against one of these dudes. Come on, just get it over and done with.
Yeah, but I'm saying
we know she wants to beat up some guy. We just don't know who it is.
In general, though, we knew that Judgment Day was going to get involved, and even by them getting involved, we knew that Judgment Day still doing their job because they are a heel faction, and that's what they do. That's what they do. So Thomas is saying that Priest and Escobar are the two Hispanic stars that the company is looking for. Yes, Escobar is that guy too.
They need the Hispanic representation in WWE, and these two guys are it. Damian Priest and Santos Escobar.
Yeah, so I'm actually very, very happy that Damian Priest is getting this push. But when you see matches like this, you can see why he is.
Ooh.
Because of matches like this.
I think it's like that.
I picked him as Rookie of the Year when he was out that 1 year, remember?
Yes, you did. Yeah, I do remember that.
And I kind of think since the match against Bad Bunny at Backlash, Damian Priest is just he has this momentum and he's really taking advantage of it.
Yeah,
winning Money in the Bank, teaming with Finn Balor and winning these titles.
I do feel like it was that match. It was that match against Bad Bunny that really jump-started Priest.
It elevated
I was going
him.
to say, with Bad Bunny being the rookie, so to speak, even though that happened, I think it helped Damian Priest.
It did. It elevated Damian Priest, in my opinion, and now people are eager to see what he does next. Does he cash in the briefcase? What else does he do?
Well, it looked like he was going to do it on Monday, and then Rhea's like, not tonight.
Yeah, that's true.
All right, so
you see what?
Go ahead.
I was going to say the breakup could happen as early as next week. I'm thinking.
I
don't think it'll come that soon. That's
no.
But it could be the start. It could be the start.
It could be.
They're giving little hints, little indications that either Priest or Balor are going to walk away from Judgment Day, and maybe McDonough's going to jump in.
So,
they're giving away little clues here.
Do you feel like this was the match of the night?
Yeah, it was the second match of the night. Not my match tonight, but it had to be the second best match tonight. I give it an
A. What was your grade on this one?
An A.
An A? Okay.
A+.
Christy, what was your grade on this match? And to you, was this the match of the night?
This was, for me, the second match of the night behind Becky versus Trish. And I'm giving this match an A. I'm sad KO and Sammy's reign is over. But I think it was time to put the titles on someone else. And who better to put it on than Damian Priest and Finn Balor, because, like I said, Balor is now a Grand Slam champion, and this just continues Priest's momentum towards the top.
All right, and Crispy, what was your overall grade?
I give it an A as for match of the night. It was, and then the steel cage match was my second. This was a pretty good match. I liked it.
Mm-hmm.
It was.
And Thomas is saying Hornswoggle Jr. is trying to find a way to make Daddy proud. Oh God.
Well, yes, this to me, I do give it the match of the night, but I do give it an overall A.
Yeah.
Because it was a very, very good match. So now moving away from this match and moving on to our next match is actually the women's championship match.
Mommy.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Versus
Rhea Ripley
Mamacita
versus
Raquel
Raquel
Rodriguez. Yep.
And Crispy, Rhea, look
Yeah.
at Rhea's name. You spelled that wrong.
No. Uh-oh.
All right.
No,
So,
I think Thomas had a comment in earlier. Let me see if I can find it. It said,
yeah, Crispy's just having a rough night.
the producer's having a bad
Damn.
night. Poor Chris.
He's having a rough night.
He's
All
having
right.
a rough night. Oh, God.
All right. So,
Spell check is killing you there.
It is.
Okay.
yeah, this match I thought was a good match also. When people talk about who could technically dethrone Rhea, I think Raquel could actually be the answer to that. I think Raquel definitely could.
I have one follower on X, or what used to be Twitter, and he's saying the same thing. He thinks Raquel is the one who could beat Rhea.
I really do.
Raquel is good. She's really good.
And after what I saw at Payback, yeah, absolutely. I do feel like Raquel is that lady that could.
I hope they get a rematch at Fastlane. That might be where it might happen. I don't know.
Right? It's
maybe don't put the names up anymore. Sorry.
No, it's all good.
Oh, good.
I get it. Yeah, it's
Okay.
but Raquel, yes. She when I first saw Raquel, her first match that I saw her wrestle was in NXT.
Yeah.
And I didn't know how big of a star that she was going to be. And yes, that is a rematch this week.
Oh, the rematch is next week. Okay. Yeah, and I think it's Dominic is banned from ringside.
Yeah, he is banned.
Because he played a factor in this match, and I'm like, oh, God.
It would be
Go away, Dom, go away.
It would be kind of an interesting swerve, though, to end up having Raquel win and being like, hey, Rhea's the one who said, hey, nobody loses a title, or there's going to be like a dissension in the ranks. It would be funny if Rhea was actually the one to then lose the title.
I would begin the descent like this.
Notice how the Judgment Day is getting their own like locker room and kind of like what the Bloodline
right?
I kind of think they're becoming like the Bloodline, sort of. Like, we run WWE. We have all the gold. Look at Damian Priest. He has the briefcase.
But for anybody to say, though, that Rhea is overrated,
she's not.
It's crazy. Rhea is crazy.
This woman's been a star since, the Mae Young class, since like 2018 Mae Young Classic, where she showed she's a badass. And then NXT UK, first ever NXT UK Women's Champion, beats Shayna Baszler for the NXT Women's title. I mean, Rhea's a star, and she's not overrated, in my opinion.
Oh no, definitely not. It's think about the Charlotte and Rhea match.
Oh yeah.
The Rhea and Raquel match now, two absolutely great matches.
Yep.
So Rhea to me has only been getting better and better and better.
She's been getting better for years.
Raquel is also there too, to where Raquel has gotten better too, and I feel like yes, she is that person that could dethrone Rhea. Absolutely.
It's gonna be wow.
Christy, did you enjoy this match?
I did. I did hate Dominic interfering, but this was overall a really good match. I mean, like I said, Rhea's a badass and Raquel is awesome. So, and they work really well together.
All right. Crispy, how about you?
No, it was a good match. Kind of hated to see the ending of it with Dominic interfering.
Boo, Dominic, boo.
He's going to be banned from ringside, so I don't think we're going to have anything to worry about. But I think she might retain again.
I think she probably will. I was just throwing it out there and saying it would be an interesting swerve if Raquel won, because it would definitely be that interesting swerve. But I think Mess Around is back now.
He is.
So, Mess Around, what was your thoughts on the Rhea and Raquel match?
Uh-oh.
Maybe he's not back. Okay.
No.
And yes, Thomas, they have silver and gold.
Silver and gold. No, I'm kidding.
They are technically like the new bloodline at this point.
Yeah.
They are the bloodline. Right now they are.
They are. I just don't expect them to take up the first 40 minutes of a show cutting a worthless segment or something like that people will be talking about on the internet.
No, but
Tribal court, oh Lord.
But overall, when we talk about the Rhea and Raquel match, what was your final grade on that match, Christy?
B+.
B+. All right.
Yep.
Don't know what happened to Mess Around. Crispy, how about you?
I would say a B.
Yep.
B+.
I'll go with a B. I'll go with a B on that. I have no hesitation, and that would be a strong B. It's not like it's a B. So if you say B, yeah, like if you say a B grade, and just so people understand, by saying a B grade, we're not saying that the match is bad. That's not what we're saying at all. A B is actually good.
Yes.
If you get an A, it's great. If you get a B, it's good. If you get a C, it's average.
Yes.
But B is good, A is great, and I'm putting it right there to where it was a very good match. So a B+ is how I got to roll with that one. B+. B+. Of course. All right. So now moving on to the main event.
Mess Around's back. Yay!
He's back. So the main event of Payback. Seth Rollins versus Shinsuke Nakamura. Or I should say Seth freaking Rollins.
That's right. That's Mr. Freaking Rollins to you, sir.
That is right. I will say the one thing
that's Mr. World Heavyweight Champion.
I'll say though, I think the one thing that kind of surprised me in this match a little bit was I did have Seth picked right before the match started. However, I honestly thought that Shinsuke might have went over in this match. I really did. And the only reason I was thinking about that is because they were talking about Seth Rollins back and how he's been hurt and everything else. So I thought that this was a great time to actually make Seth still look strong and possibly lose his title. And they could have been like, well, Seth lost his title, but yet he was also hurt. And so it would have made him look strong. Now, I'm not saying it was a bad decision to keep the title on him because it's going to keep the Seth and the Shinsuke feud going, which towards the end of it, I do think that Shinsuke ends up winning. I do. Yeah. I do think Shinsuke ends up taking the title off of Seth. So, I did kind of go back and forth on this match.
Right.
But, Christy, what was your thoughts on this match?
This was not a bad match at all. I mean, these two just put it all out there. And, Seth retaining was surprising to me. I thought this was the match. I thought this was where Damian Priest was going to cash in his Money in the Bank contract and win the title. I really thought that was what was going to happen. But since we've had no cash in, and Chris is gone, by the way, maybe if these two have a rematch, which it looks like that is a likely possibility, that's when I think the cash in will happen, regardless of whether it's Seth or Shinsuke who ends up winning it.
Thomas, no, I don't think he would actually hold it until Mania.
No, I don't think so.
I don't
think it's likely. No.
But yeah, I don't think he would. But I do feel like he will at least get a little bit of a run there. I really do. I think they're gonna. But I was kind of with you there, Christy, also, to where before this match
Okay.
started.
Mess around. What are your thoughts on this match?
Am I
Mine?
frozen?
Mm-hmm.
No, you're good. We can still hear you, see you.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Okay, you were frozen there for a minute there,
Oh.
Ace. I'm like,
So,
what do I do? What do I do?
So my thoughts, though, at like the very beginning, though, like before the match started, my prediction was, and I said, if Seth Rollins wins,
Mhm.
I thought that yes, Damian Priest was going to come down on the cash in. I did.
Yeah.
I did think that, and I said yes, I do believe that that's going to happen. But then I said if Shinsuke wins, I think that Shinsuke just wins, and there isn't a cash in. But
Right.
Seth won, and there was still no cash in. But we know that after the pay-per-view went off the air, we know that Shinsuke still attacked Seth.
Mm-hmm. There was
And
video
so-
of it all over social media.
So,
showing
Thomas,
that.
you could be right there too, though, is
Mhm.
that we probably will get Seth versus Roman at Survivor Series.
Possible champion versus champion. I mean,
Is it possible?
It's
I
possible.
don't-
It is.
I don't know how they want to do it this year, because
Yeah.
if they're trying to make NXT its own brand and not make
Mhm.
it a developmental, then
Right.
it would have to be like
Triple threat.
it would
The
have
triple
to be
threat Roman versus
Carmelo
Seth.
Hayes
Yes,
versus
there you
Seth
go.
versus Roman. So
Mhm.
I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see how they want to do it this year. But
Yeah, exactly.
mess around. What was your thoughts on Seth Rollins versus Shinsuke?
Oh, for me, this is a match of the night. These guys tore the house down. I mean, Shinsuke pretty made the match from start to finish. I thought Shinsuke was seriously going to win. But, Seth, amazingly, surprisingly to me anyways, retained. So I thought they're going to, ride him off with a back injury for a little bit. And
Mhm.
Shinsuke, have a little run. And then eventually have Damian cash in on him. And then Seth comes back from his injury and challenges Priest for the title, but didn't work out that way.
Nope.
Right, and we know that with Seth's back injury, I think the one thing he's afraid of is he doesn't know how, because he knows he needs surgery, and he
Yes.
doesn't know what the surgery is going to do to him. He doesn't know if he would be able to return after getting it. So
Right.
I think he's afraid.
Rick Burton in his back surgery.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
and-
if you have the kind of issues that Seth has admitted to having in his back, then yeah, you would honestly be afraid of what would happen if you did have to have surgery.
True.
Yeah. Mace is frozen again.
No, I'm not.
Oh, he's
Just
back.
kidding.
He's back. He's back.
No, I was doing the mannequin challenge. Yeah, I was just doing the mannequin challenge. I was just teasing you guys.
Challenge. Oh God.
But anyways, so Crispy, your
Yeah.
thought?
No, it was a really good match. I kind of had Shinsuke winning, just based on the last few weeks, but glad Seth retained. I think we're gonna have a rematch. As far as Survivor Series goes, I don't think NXT is gonna be involved. I think it's gonna be you're gonna see Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, Cody Rhodes, somebody else in a
Mhm.
War Games match against the Judgment Day.
Maybe.
But I mean, they're
they're-
still going to have a match, Seth and Roman, but
Right.
I don't know if it's going to be champion versus champion.
No. Yeah, because we don't know if Seth's going to
Yeah.
still be champion by the time Survivor Series starts. And I think Thomas said Seth is going to try and wait until after Mania to get the surgery. I don't know if he's going to hold up until that long, until April. I mean, he'll
He's
probably
gonna
try
try,
and
though.
he's going to try and force it, but
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if he's going to last that long.
All right. Well, we are definitely here. We're at that time now. So we do want to thank everybody for watching. But before we hop off here, we're going to give our final grades on the overall Payback pay-per-view, or I should say premium live event. Sorry.
I hate
Alright,
that.
so,
I don't like calling it that.
Christy, your overall final grade of Payback.
Overall final grade for Payback, I would say is a solid B+.
All right. Mess around.
I give it an A. I would have given it an A+ if Cena had not been special guest referee.
Yeah.
All right. And Crispy.
I give it an A. Why not?
Why not?
Why
Because
not?
he says so. Why not?
Yes.
All right. Well, we definitely want to thank everybody for watching. It's been it's been a fun show coming on and talking about Payback. Next week, you never know. I hope we have a very, very fun week to talk about with Raw and SmackDown. I'm looking forward to it.
Yep.
So with that, you can catch us next Tuesday night for another episode of Between the Ropes. With that, have a great night, and we'll see you next week.
Good night.